Hola, vamos a aprender sobre lección 10, más de ser y estar. First off, we're going to talk more about condition and emotion. So remember our acronym for a STAR is going to be position, location, action, condition, and emotion, which form the acronym PLACE. So a couple things to remember. So first off, remember number one, a STAR is typically used for more temporary things. It's going to be that difference between, for example, the difference between location and position and origin. Condition and emotion also are different than the SARE use of characteristic and description because they are for temporary states like angry, happy, sad, excited, embarrassed, etc. So estoy emocionado, I am excited. Jack and Jill are angry. Jack y Jill están enojados. So remember, you're still going to have to match gender number with your adjectives. The window is open. La ventana está abierta. Now remember two. So this one I actually briefly mentioned already, but adjectives of emotion and condition still need to match gender and number with the noun they describe. You can't forget about that. Remember number three. While some adjectives are more often used with SARE than with a STAR, many of the adjectives can be used with both, but the understanding can sometimes change somewhat. So for example, estás cansado, you are sad. Eres cansado, you are a sad person, as in like you're constantly always sad. It's a characteristic about you. And remember number four, some adjectives change meaning drastically with SARE versus a STAR. So somos listos, we are smart. Estamos listos, we are ready. So aburrido, listo, seguro, and there are many others. Some of the ones in our vocabulary that have this, you'll see in parentheses after each definition that if it's a definition that's used with SARE and it's drastically different, or STAR, you'll see that in parentheses in the vocabulary. All right, we're going to talk about the action, the present progressive. So this is the A in place, which we call the present progressive. In English, this is formed with the to be plus the ing form of a verb. So I am running, or they are sleeping. So remember number one about the present progressive. So in English, English uses present progressive much more than in Spanish. Most of the time, Spanish would translate our English present progressive in just the simple present tense. So usually they are thinking, usually that in Spanish is just ellos piensan. Nothing wrong with translating it that way. Except, and this is remember number two, when they are trying to emphasize the fact that the activity is happening right now, and they only can use the present progressive when an action is happening in the moment and they want to emphasize it. So an action can be happening right now, and you don't have to use present progressive. It's only if they really want to emphasize that it's happening right now that they'll use the present progressive. So right now, they are thinking. Ellos están pensando. This would only be done to emphasize the fact that the activity is taking place at this very moment, and it's kind of a little extra emphatic about the fact that they're thinking right now. Now, remember number three. To make the present progressive in Spanish, you're going to do the following. You're going to conjugate a star to match the subject. Then you're going to add the present participle of your verb. To do that, you'll find the stem of that verb and add ando for AR verbs or yendo for ER-IR verbs. So a few examples. They are walking. Ellos están caminando. So you have están from a star matched with ellos. And then you have caminando from caminar. You had your stem camin. And then add ando because it's an AR verb. I am losing. You have estoy perdiendo or yo estoy perdiendo. Jack is sleeping. Jack está durmiendo. We'll talk about why it's that here in a minute. It's a little bit of an irregular stem there. And then you are talking. Estás hablando. All right, a few specifics. So stem changers and present participles. So in the last slide, you saw durmiendo in one of the examples. So with AR and ER verbs, you're not going to stem change in present participles when making a present participle. So empezar, just empezando. Chop off the AR, add ando. IR verbs, however, do stem change, but the rules will change a little bit. So an O to UE IR stem changer will become just an O to U stem change in the present participle. So that's where you got durmiendo. Dormir, it's an IR verb. It's an O to UE. So when making the present participle, that O to UE will become an O to U. If it's an E to I or E to IE, when making a present participle, it's just going to be E to I. So preferir, normally an E to IE. However, when making that present participle, when in the stem there, you're going to make it prefiriendo, not prefieriendo. Now, when the stem of an ER or IR verb ends in a vowel, you're going to change yendo, which would be the ending you would add. You're going to change it to yendo. Call this the yendo rule or yendo exception. So leer would be a good example. Le is going to be your stem. Instead of adding yendo and having like L-E-I-E-N-D-O, it just looks kind of funny. They change the I to a Y and you get leyendo or oyendo or trayendo. There are a few irregular present participles. You've got pudiendo, which is going to be the present participle of poder. This one uses the O to U stem change, but it is an ER stem changer, which normally don't stem change when making present participles. And then you have yendo. This is the present participle of ir, and this is used very rarely. And don't confuse this with the ir plus opus infinitive. Don't start throwing yendo in there. But if ever you wanted to really be emphatic about, I am going to the store, you could do something like, yo estoy yendo a la tienda, or something like that, just to be a little extra emphatic. But it's not used a whole lot. So here'd be another example of that. You are going to the store. Or you are going to the store regular without the extra emphasis would just be vas a la tienda. El fin.